Yeah, so I want to share a little bit about my testimony so you can see where Yah has brought me from. And so try to make this as short as possible. But going back to my early years when I played football, I was a water boy before I started actually playing for Pop Warner, which was the league. And my grandma introduced me to football. And, football to me was an outlet because, I didn't grow up with my father. I seen him sporadically. And, as a man, you're looking for role models and kind of all you see is, football and sports and things like that. So it was my outlet. And so I kind of poured a lot into that. And, and that was my thing to, go to the NFL. And I remember when my grandmother died, 1997, I had to move with my dad, and it was you could say a culture shock. He was an alcoholic, and, he had, it was a very tumultuous relationship, as far as physical and mental abuse, and built up a lot of resentment, covenants, thought processes, just all kind of things that were just detrimental to my growth. And so I was playing football, man. I played football in high school, and was pretty good at it. It was all conference and all those things, and was looking to play, post high school football, went to college. And so my senior year in college, I hadn't really started. I got playing time a little bit in college, but I hadn't really started. And so football throughout the years was also a way for me and my dad to connect, because we didn't really connect in any other thing for the most part. And, I had this performance spirit. I really wanted to, please him, because, sons want to please their fathers, And so, and really, I started playing football really more so for him and also to prove something. But my senior year, I went on this mission trip, and I came back from the mission trip, and I didn't feel the same about football anymore. I didn't feel it just was taken out of my heart. And I prayed and I asked the Father, which I now call him Yahuwah. I asked him, I said, if this is you calling me away from football, I pray that you will let me know. You speak to me verbally. And I remember that day I went into the cafeteria, and I heard, I was moved to tell my friends, because they were kind of thinking about the same thing, to go talk to this lady that worked at the cafeteria. And I was like, man, let's go talk to her, man. And, we went to go talk to her, and literally it's my experience of the burning bush of Moses, because the Spirit of the Most High came upon her, and it was like he answered my prayer within a matter of minutes. And he spoke through her to say, hey, man, I got something else for you to do. And it's not football. And so needless to say, I quit football and went on this journey to find out, what I was called to do. And through that course of time, if I back up a little bit, is during the time of that abuse, from my dad, between 7th grade and 12th grade, a friend had brought me a green notebook and began to, and told me that I should, write my thoughts down and different things like that. And, I started doing that, journal entries, and they turned into like poetry and rap and stuff like that, which eventually turned into short stories. And, now movies and scripts and things like that. And it became a way to express, my pain and frustration and a lot of different things that I couldn't really express, in poetry and like I expressed it in poetry and spoken word and those things when I didn't have a voice. So it became part of my voice. And then also the Messiah used that as a tool to bring about forgiveness, to forgive my dad, to unravel some thought processes. And so my testimony is short, It's about healing and fatherhood of, just sharing that, man, if you know your father, and y'all have a bad relationship, man, pray for him. If you are a father, just don't be there, but be there. You know what I mean? Like in spirit and truth, because, I went through a lot of things that I believe that could have been diverted, just many different, women relationships, many different deceptions, many different strongholds, ideologies, and it's so much to get into. I don't even have enough time to share it. But yeah, so I would say, and because through that time, the Most High, He fathered me, and He taught me and had to unlearn some of the things that that I learned through that example, because men, especially young men, are impressionable. Children are impressionable, and so whatever they see, they try to emulate, and so without even knowing it, they will emulate it. And so my testimony is just giving thanks to Yah above and His only begotten Son, His brought forth Son, Yahusha, that they kept me and they brought me out of the fire of the thing which a lot of men are going through, especially black men are going through in the community, which is fathers' homes. And even if they got fathers, the father's still not there, so it's still really a father's home. So my testimony is deliverance from just that trap, because it is a trap. A lot of people end up in jail, a lot of people end up in gang life, a lot of people end up in a lot of stuff. But my testimony is giving thanks that I'm He's molded me into a father and a husband and a filmmaker and director, and now He was right. He had something else for me to do and be, and now I'm living in that. When I thought all I could do was just play football and prove to people that I'm this person or this and that, or base everything off my physical capabilities, or my physical strength. And so what it comes down to is belief and faith in the Messiah. And so without that, man, you ain't going nowhere. So that's my testimony, and a little bit of my testimony. So thank you, and for this opportunity to share that. Peace.